Hello and welcome to another video. A quick one, basically, because I think Daniela's exam is tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Um, yeah, anyway, she sent me this question, so I better do it. Okay, it's a modulus question, which is ironic because I just did a couple of modulus questions a second ago, well, an hour ago. Let's quickly do it. Okay, so first thing I'm thinking of when I'm doing a question like this is they've drawn this graph for me. Now, on this side of the origin, I've really sketched the graph y equals x over x minus 2, because when x is positive, the modulus does nothing at all. And so that's really the graph of y equals x over x minus 2. But similar to my critical argument in my critical values video for the modulus, which is another way of looking at the modulus and a very sensible way of looking at it as well, when you're actually, this is when x is greater than 0, modulus does nothing at all. But when you're less than 0, well, what you can look at it then like is that this is the graph of y equals x over minus x minus 2. That way you ensure, because let's say x was minus 3 here, you'd end up doing 3 take away 2, wouldn't you? Because you'd do minus 3, make it positive. Well, here, if I put minus 3 in here, I do minus minus 3, so I get 3 minus 2. Can you see I'm going to get exactly the same y values out whilst x is less than 0 for this side of the graph? So this side of the graph is really that equation. It's similar, Daniela, if you remember those questions where we had the v, where we had like on one side it was like, say, 1 minus x, but on the other side it was like x minus 1, yeah, and you know the graph might look something like that, and that is how you draw y equals mod of x minus 1. Yeah, so when x is 1, they're supposed to be at 0, etc, etc. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Basically, the critical value there is x equals 1, and on the left hand side you change the sign of it, and on the right hand side, because it does nothing at all when it's greater than 1, you leave it alone, so it's just x minus 1. It's exactly the same principle. Now I've said that, I reckon you can do this whole question, because what I would do next is think, okay, let's draw this line on this graph, because obviously we want to know, and it's 2x minus 5, so it goes something like this, I suppose, yeah? We want to know these values here, here, and here, because we can identify that our line is above the curve. It has a higher y coordinate, which is what we're trying to find here. When is the y coordinate for 2x minus 5 bigger than the y coordinate for x over mod of x minus 2? Well, that is the case. Let's see, we want the straight line to be above the curved line. No, it's not there, it's not there, it's only above it here. Oh, then it goes below it again. That asymptote is a problem, and then it's above it there. Yeah, can you see those are the values I need? So actually I don't even need that one down here, because I can see down here, I think I'm right in saying that the line is, oh no, when it goes further, look, the line will be above the curve. If I just continue that, almost missed that, down there, yeah, because look, the yellow bit is above the black line, and the yellow bit is above the black line, the yellow bit is above the black line, but not there. No, it's not. You know, it's, if I draw the other one in red, I suppose I could make it even clearer, or maybe, you know, do it like this. There, it's below the line. There, it's below. Do you see what I mean? So there is some subtleties to this question, but clearly I want to find these points here, here, and here. So let's do it. Okay, if I'm finding these 2 points, then I need to, well, then I need to solve where x over x minus 2. I can now take the equality case, which is so much easier to deal with. Multiply it out, 2x squared minus, what is that going to be? Minus 5x minus 4x is minus 9x. And then plus 10, I think. We'll know at the end, because I'll check my answer on, why have I written 9x squared there? You know me, I make errors in every single sentence. I don't think it helps talking as you do maths. Minus 10x plus 10. Obviously I can make that 0 equals x squared minus 5x plus 5. Slightly disappointed that that doesn't actually factorise. So it's not going to have very nice roots, but okay, well, we'll deal with that. X is going to be the same as, if you complete the square, minus 5 over 2 squared minus 25 over 4 plus 5, which is the same as 20 over 4. That should equal 0, and so x is going to be equal to, what's that, minus 5 over 4, so 5 over 4 root 5 over 2, 5 over 2 plus or minus root 5 over 2, you know, in other words 5 plus root 5 over 2, plus or minus, yeah? And so this will be 5 plus root 5 over 2, that'll be 5 minus root 5 over 2. And then down here, what have we got? Well, we've got x over minus x minus 2 equals 2x minus 5 this time. And so we're going to multiply that out, and we're going to have x equals minus 2x squared, and then we're going to have minus 4x minus plus 5x, so that's plus x. I'm just going to check that, minus 4x plus 5x plus x, yeah, and then plus 10. And so we end up with 0 equals, it's nice because the x's cancel here actually. I think you're going to have root 5 here. You're going to have to take the negative though, because you end up with x equals, really messy maths here. I do apologise, I'm kind of slightly rushing this. X squared equals 5, and so x is plus or minus root 5, but we want the minus root 5 here. So my answer is x is less than minus root 5, or x is between, oh right, we've got to go from there to there up to the asymptote, so we can have basically x is less than 2, but 5 over 2 minus root 5 over 2 is going to be the bottom. Oh, well, I'm just going to call that 5 minus root 5 over 2, because that's what it is. Or it's going to be the case, so I've got that one, it's going to be the case up here when x, or let's have another statement. So sorry, you know me, I put my maths all over the board, it gets really messy, I'm so sorry. Or get that mess out of the way, x is greater than 5 plus root 5 over 2. Okay, I hope that is the answer. I don't know where you've got the question from, so I'm going to check it on GeoGebra. And I'm just going to type in the function y equals x over mod x minus 2. And there we go, lovely graph, and y equals 2x minus 5, and I'm just going to by sight look and see if the values are correct, just to check that I've factorised the quadratics correctly. Okay, that seems to be at, roughly speaking, minus 2.2. That sounds like root 5 to me, but I'm just going to check. 2.23, yeah, so it's looking right. So definitely the line is above. Hang on, what am I saying? Sorry, I've just looked at this. Clearly, you know me, I make so many mistakes. It's crazy. I have to look very carefully at what I'm doing. From here to here, there's a tiny bit in there where the line is, and I said it was all the way down there. That's obviously nonsense. The curve is above the line there, so fair play if you were laughing at me on that bit or thinking, what is he talking about? You're absolutely right. I'm going to change that. It's much easier to see on a decent diagram, which is something I've never been brilliantly good at drawing. It goes up to there, and then that suddenly is winning, and then it goes up to there. So, and sure enough, let me just check what 5 minus root 5 over 2 is. 5 minus root 5 divided by 2, I'm just doing this on the calculator as a quick check, 1.38, is that 1.38? Looks about 1.38 to me, yeah, 1.38, and then that's going to be 5 plus root 5 over 2, so 5 plus, I'm just checking, divided by 2, okay, I've got a decimal 3.6, and yeah, that looks right. So I'm guessing that the answer is this. I'm just going to adjust it because I just realised I made a tiny error. I'll show you exactly. The line is not above the curve there. You can see that quite clearly. It's in this little bit there though, and it's so hard to see that. It's much easier to see on the diagram I just showed you. But if I can just change it so it looks correct at the end, correct my error. It's going to be like that. Then there's going to be a tiny little bit of highlight, the bit we want in there, and then there's going to be that again at the end of it for the straight line y equals 2x minus 5. So there's actually different regions, and so the final answer should be so what is that, minus 2 up to minus root 5. So it should say, let me just change that first one, it's going to be minus root 5 is less than x, which is less than minus 2, and so you get three different regions basically, which are part of the solution set. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Daniela. It looks right to me now. I'm fairly confident that my answer should be right. If the answer disagrees, let me know. But yeah, all the best and good luck in the exam. Bye bye.